Today we'll be talking about a hot topic, comparing the three ways of developing software in 2025. Traditional development, no-code development, and low-code development. Not only that, but you will also know which is the best option for you or your client needs. Hello everyone, this is James Abad, co-founder of Toddle.dev, a low-code development agency based in Peru. So let's start with the most common way of building software, traditional development, the one that the universities teach or at least try to teach. With this approach, it pretty much means that you will be building everything from scratch. So you will need to know about different programming languages and different frameworks in order to build the project that you're working on. Now, the good side of things is that you will be able to control everything, not only the code that you're writing, but also the server where your project will be hosted. The bad side of this is that you will need to have a lot of experience. Not only that, if you're not the builder, you will need to spend a lot of money on a good experienced developer in order to achieve a good quality of development, not only on the structure on the front end, but also security on your backend. And if you're not planning to scale into millions, it might not be worth it to build in a traditional way if to start with you want an MVP. Now, if you're not looking to scale to millions, this might not be the best approach because it's time consuming and as well it's expensive to hire a real experienced developer. Important to know, now that we're in 2025, we have AI, and tools like Copilot or Cursor AI have changed the game for traditional development. Tools like this have improved the productivity of developers in a 300%. Like, it's crazy how quick developers can build now. Really important, if you don't know the code that you have on your project, you don't own it, because you won't be able to do changes on top of it. It's important that you don't let AI build everything. You need to be aware of every single thing that is being coded on your project. So please don't tell me that you have a scalable project, everything built from scratch by Claude or ChatGPT. So if you want to build in a traditional way, please learn the basics first. Because once you learn the basics, you will be able to handle every single way of development. Traditional development, no-code development, and low-code development. And you will be pretty much the boss. You guys have no idea how valuable in today's market is to be a traditional developer. But you don't need to stick always with traditional development. Companies are looking to build quicker and cheaper. So if you're a traditional developer, you should start looking for these tools and see which one you like. Because some developers are too proud and they say, hey, no code is not the way to go, low code is not the way to go, but they haven't even tried the tools. They haven't even seen the owners of these tools like Xano. Have you heard about Xano? Like, Xano was created by one of the Google Photos developers. This is a no code, like a visual development tool for backend, and it's crazy good. So if you haven't seen that tool, I will leave the link in the description. Now guys, let's talk about the second most common way to build software. The ones that the universities don't teach, no-code development. So if you want to build easy and quick, definitely this is the way to go. Be aware that every single no-code tool has limitations, and you will be using no-code tools for the different needs that you have. Now, this can be a no-code tool to build a website. This can be a no-code tool to create an automation like Zapier or Make. This can be a no-code tool like Airtable to host data, or like a Google Sheets. Every single no-code tool has as well their learning curve, but it's not as steep as the one for the traditional development. This is a new approach of learning how to program. You don't need to get started in a traditional development way. You can start with a no-code tool and then jump into the traditional development with some previous experience. Now, my suggestion, whenever you jump into a tool like Webflow, that is an HTML and CSS visual editor, you really want to have some previous experience, just a little bit of experience in building HTML and CSS in a traditional way. With this approach, you will be able to take advantage of every feature that the tool offers you. Now, please don't only stay in no-code development. You know, clients always ask for better and more complex things. So if you stay only no code, you will be always depending on the tools and the features that they launch. And you don't want to be there. You don't want to always be depending on a third party to allow you to deliver a service. You always want to keep improving. I will leave a list of no-code tools that I would love for you to try in 2025 in the description. And now, with this being said, let's talk about low-code development And this is not the way to start, because or you start in a traditional development or you start in a no-code development, but you are not able to start in low-code development because you need from the knowledge of both. And you have, and this is the fantastic thing about it, you have people that have come from the no-code development, so visual development with no, traditional development experience, just like me, or you have other team members from our agency like Xano, that he's a backend engineer all of his life, and then he has jumped into Xano and Wized, and he loves this because he's aware of how much work it takes to build, software in a traditional way, that he is in love with this type of tools where we can build really nice software, really secure, really quick, and it can scale. I really think this is the approach that companies are looking for. They want the speed of the no-code development, but they also want the granularity of a traditional development. They want to build complex things, but they don't really want to build everything from scratch, So if you are a no-code developer, I will suggest to start learning how to program. And also, if you're a traditional developer, I will suggest to start looking into no-code tools that you can use in order to improve your workflows. If you haven't done any of these three ways, like you haven't done no-code development, traditional development, or low-code development, let me tell you, this is the best time in history to be a developer. With the appearance of AI in the market, just to understand a little bit of coding in the past didn't make any change. You were just a regular guy that knew a little bit about JavaScript, for example. But now, if you just understand the basics, just the basics of JavaScript, with AI, this knowledge has increased by 1,000% its value, because now you will be able to write huge lines of code with AI, and as long as you understand and you go line by line and you kind of start getting what is going on each line, because they also leave you comments, what is going on each part of the code. This is the future. You really want to get started. So I will encourage you to get started in a traditional development or a no-code development, but let's start. This is a guy from Peru working for companies around the globe, and the clients are more than happy with the development that we offer them. So if you haven't started, this is your sign. Please like and subscribe and leave any questions that you might have. I hope you guys like this video.